All right, guys, so number one, again, those of you that have it done, let's check answers. So number one, $1,413.46. Part B, $2,826.92. And Part C, $3,062.50. So something you may want to write on your note card if you can't remember it is what weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, what all those numbers mean. Okay? So some people like to do their note card as we go through this. Others like to hey, I'm going to circle this and make notes on their review, and then when we're done, go back and put it on the note card. So that way you can kind of figure out how much space you have. So totally up to you guys, but I would take notes on what you want to put on that note card, front and back. Yep. Wait, did I tell you guys yet you can do front and back?
No.
Yeah, you can only use the upper left corner. All right, so questions on number one. Guys, we need to stay focused so we can get through this, okay? So we have time to work. Oh, you didn't actually. Okay, got it. All right, so number two, Part A, his regular gross pay just for the 40 hours is $380. Part B, his hourly overtime rate. So that's going to be his regular rate times 1.5 because he makes time and a half. So $14.25. Part C, his overtime pay. Well, he worked 44 hours. So we had 4 hours of overtime at $14.25. It's $57. And then Part D, his total pay for the week is going to be the regular plus the overtime, so $437. I had another student yesterday did the same thing. They were confused on what they were asking. I'm like, you skipped Part A, right? And they're like, oh, no. Yeah, there wasn't a space in there. Sorry. Just trying to get things to fit on one page. All right, so again, if you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot how to do that, make a note. Put that kind of example or notes to that so you know number two, this is how I do it. All right, number three, comparing between the two, Marcus and Cole. So Marcus would make $403.75. The big thing with that one is you had to actually figure out his overtime. Right, so he makes $850 for the first 40 hours, and then $850 times 1.5, so he makes $1275 for overtime. So then I did the $1275 times his 5 overtime. So $403.75. Same process for Cole. He makes $1163 for overtime, so he makes $368.15. The question asked how much more did Marcus earn, so you just had to subtract those, so $35.60.
Well, I did a whole different way of figures.
She could same answer?
Yeah.
Then you're fine. Yeah. There's more than one way to do math problems. I just try to stay consistent to the way I taught you. That's the way I try to go through them. All right. Well, make sure you know how to do it tomorrow, because I can guarantee you number three will look like this. Just different numbers and different names. Yeah, so when people fail this, I'm like, seriously, what is your problem? It's people who don't care and don't put any effort in whatsoever. All right, number four is $1,220. So he makes $200 every week plus 5% of the sales, and he had 20,400 sales, so that was it. That's major sales. Again, if you were not sure, circle it, make a note, put this on my note card. This one shouldn't have been that hard of a problem. Some of you may have done the 5% and gotten an answer and then added 200 to it. You didn't really do anything different than me. You just did it in a different order. Same thing I did, though. Yeah, it's just John. Hi, John. Okay. Guys, so number 5, no, this is not a slip. Where's the other half of this? You need to go check in at the office. Otherwise, you're marked absent all day. Go get your pass. Seriously? Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So number 5, piecework pay is $130. She makes 20 cents for every unit that she makes. So we just multiply those together. Her total hourly pay, 38 hours at $7.50 an hour, is $285. Then so the total for the week, we just add them together, so $415. What? Yeah, I didn't have. I can add that. You want me to add it? No. Calculating your hours, like clocking in, clocking out for lunch, back and forth. Yeah. All right. Number 6. This is the one I think most people asked me about yesterday. Number 6. This one's like working backwards. So I might highly recommend number 6 ends up on your note card, because number 6 on your exam, you're going to have to do the same process. So if you were somebody who did not know and had to ask me, put it on your note card. Right? Kind of thinking and talking through this though. So it says he received 7% of the first 1,000. So that's why I did 0.07 times 1,000. Plus he gets 15% of the balance. I don't know how much he sold. Okay, because it says he earned $1,864. That's how much money he brought, not how much furniture was sold. So that's why I used X. I did X minus 1,000 because that first 1,000's right here. He gets 7% for the first 1,000. Anything over that, you get 15%. And he made $1,864. So solving this solves for X, which is how much furniture was actually sold. So you just had to distribute, and then I collected like terms, and I just solved for X. But again, if that is something that you did not remember how to do, make a note, put it on your note card. Elena. I literally went through and changed names and numbers.
No, I'm saying like.
So yeah.
Elena, I literally pulled up my review, changed names and numbers. Elena, I pulled up the review, just changed names and numbers. Okay, like I literally didn't like create a whole new document. I went through and changed things. There's no shock here, no surprise. She did. Luke made every excuse when he messaged me last night. Thank you.
I made one excuse. I was out of ink.
And I said, I don't care. Write it on notebook paper.
I didn't see that stuff.
Well, if you don't have a printer.
No, I got a printer.
All right, guys, number 7, another one I would probably put on the note card because I know a lot of you struggle with this one. For the exam tomorrow, do you guys remember we did these? I had these papers for you when we did these. I just did mine along the side, but if it helped you that you want like the little table thing on the exam, I can give you that tomorrow on the exam. Yeah. You can have one. Yep. Does anybody else want one now so you can kind of look it over? Yeah, I mean, I just did mine along the side, but if this helps you, by all means, I will give one to you now.
I was sitting there trying to like do it on the calculator. And I was like,
No, they were sitting next to it though. Anybody over here want one? Did you get your review done or no?
I don't think I got
All right, guys. So talking through this one, because again, you will have one just like this tomorrow on your exam. So it has the tax on this one is 7.51%, maximum of 55,000. So if you make more than 55, you will max out. And it says that she earned 72,000. So she's gonna max out at some point. Now, 72,000's not that far over, so it's gonna tell you that it's gonna be later in the year before they'll hit the max. So first part, what is her monthly gross income? I just took her income and divided by 12 to change it to monthly. And then we had to kind of look and see what's happening with the income. Because the next question is, what month did she stop paying? Or meaning, what month did you max out? And it's in October. If you look through this, let me move it down so you can see it all.
the last month, isn't
There it is. So what I did is I started January with that monthly income that I found there, and I just kept adding that, the same income every month, right? until I get to a point. September was at 54,000, so it was really close. October, I'm at 60. I maxed out in October. So October is when I went over the 55,000. Okay, so that's how you can tell what month you stopped or what month you maxed out. Okay, what month did you actually go over that max amount? So it was October. So then how much did she pay in Social Security in September? Well, just September she made, now don't be confused, this is my ongoing total, but am I paying taxes on all 54,000 in September? No, I paid every month. So in just September, it's just my monthly times the percent, which was given at the top. I paid $452.79 in September. So it's just for 1 month. A lot of students want to use the 54,000 here. They're not taxing you on all of that in September. Okay, then how much did she pay in October? That's that max out month. So I paid some in there, right? Because I did cross over once I hit October. So you take your max amount. Again, I would write this down and put it on your note card. You take the max amount, which was 55,000, subtract off that previous month's total, which in September was 54,262.53. So that means in October, I'm only getting taxed on $737.47. That's all it took to push me to 55,000. That's what I get taxed on times the percent, $55.38. But again, I try to put it in notes there for you so you knew what to write on your paper so you can make sure you know how to do this tomorrow. The max amount minus the previous month's total. So the previous month before I maxed out, that tells you I was only taxed on just a portion in October. Yeah. That's how much tax she paid in October. So when I subtract the max minus what she in the September total, in October she's only getting taxed on a portion of it because anything more than that it pushed her over that max. That's the tax she paid in October. Yep. So you had the right answer originally? Gotcha. All right, questions on that? Because again, number 7 will look like that tomorrow. Devin?
So with this, after you get that amount, so are you always timesing by the percentage?
Yep. Yep, always. And again, if tomorrow's example is not 7.51%, make sure you don't use.
I put more rate.
Okay, just making sure. If I go too quickly through this and there's something else you want, I will post this video, so you could always just kind of scroll through the video and get to the part you want to see.
Can I make the video?
What? Not usually. Usually it just picks up me because my mic's so close to me.
Video.
Yeah.
Don't forget to study me.
350 is her option.
Yes. To change it to monthly. Yep. All right, number 8. We've moved on to chapter 3. So again, if you need to reference something, you know what notes to kind of switch to. So chapter 3, this is where we had all of those beautiful formulas, your green formula sheet. I believe it even says chapter 3. Yeah, it even says chapter 3 on the top of that green one, so you know to reference that. So number 8 is $3,484.43. The big thing with that chapter was knowing which formula to use when. So remember some of them where you put money in over and over and over, right? You were constantly depositing, and some of them are you put it in once and that was it. Do you remember they all will say compounded blank? That's not what tells us which one, because they all say that. A lot of you are like, oh, it's compounded, so then I use that's multiple, right? No.
I wanted to use the APR formula. I kept going, oh, APR.
It's APY formula, not APR. Yeah, it's very different.
I kept getting it wrong. What am I doing wrong?
All right, so number 9. Oh, yes.
Which one did we use on that one? We used the compound interest.
Yep. Yeah, that was that one. Real quick, can I see this? Guys, when you're looking at your green sheet, just to remind you, notice these two formulas solve for B. That's balance. So if the question's asking you, like, how much money will they have, whatever, that's a balance one. And then forget the titles. I hate the titles. Next year, when I teach this, I'm going to take the titles right off of this. So I don't even know which titles are because I don't care. I look at the formula. Solving for B. That's all I need to know. I'm going to use one of those. One of them, yeah, scribble the titles out. I don't care. I don't care what they're called. And then down here, these ones solve for P. What's P? Principal. Principal. Yeah, how much should I initially deposit? Like if I want to have $20 million, how much should I deposit?
Okay.
That's that kind of question. I'm solving for P, solving for how much I should put in.
Periodic. You see how they both say periodic. Which one's like talk about the future? Which one is
I don't care about the titles. Am I solving for the end balance or am I solving for how much I put in?
like
Periodic means I put money in every month, every week, every whatever. So again, looking at number 8, it just says her parents put $2,000 in an account. Did it say they put it in? It's just single. It didn't say they put it in numerous times. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's the big thing. That's why I'm like, I hate the titles. Just forget the titles. All right, so the number 9, part A, his ending balance after the year is $2,372.46. So again, if I'm reading through this, Austin deposits $2,250 into a 1-year CD. Did he put it in once or more than once? Once. It didn't say he deposited it weekly, deposited monthly. He just deposited it. That's a one-time thing. So that is a single. They all say compounded, so do not look at that. Compounded just tells you which variable on your sheet. Nope. N. It's N. N is how many times it's compounded. Again, if you don't remember that, put it down on your paper. All right? So how much interest did he earn? Do I go to simple interest formula? Good. At least you guys learned something, right? It does not say simple interest, so don't do it if it didn't say it. How much interest? Interest is anything more than I started with. So he only had $2,250. Now he's got $2,372. So how much more does he have? $122.46. That's all interest. And then, hey, look, see. Ready, Cameron? What is the APY? Use the formula for APY. I'm just plugging stuff in. So remember, though, APY, make yourself a note if you don't have it on your paper. It's going to give you a decimal. You have to multiply that by 100. Yes. The only thing I worry about when people do that is if they just move it over and they don't look to see what's this next digit right here, if that rounds up or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest thing. People forget that. All right.
it's okay if it's like 44%. Whatever.
It said to round to the nearest hundredth, so that would be 2 spots. Yep. All right. Yes, this one actually says simple interest. Now, the tricky thing with this one, so I wrote my simple interest formula, I equals PRT. Thanks. But this one, you had to make sure you watched what numbers you had. So I deposited $350. After 5 years, I have $387.63. That's not interest. Subtract those. I've only earned $37.63 in interest.
After 5 years.
You put $350 in. I mean, you didn't really put that much. And your rate's only 2.2%. How much I ended up with and how much I started with. Because the difference between those, that's the interest that goes in my formula. People always want to use the 387 here, and that's not interest. Yeah.
The deposit minus the total.
Yeah, because when I'm plugging it in, it wants just the interest. The interest is just how did I get to there? How did I get from 350 to 387? Okay, so I just plug my numbers in my formula, and then I solve that for R. Again, when you solve for R, it's going to give you a decimal. You're going to have to switch that to a percent. Multiply it by 100. Now, that one did not specify what to round to, so if you went 2.15%, that's okay. Or possibly 1.6. I don't know what the next digit was. All right, 11. So again, you got to pick what formula to use. So Jasmine needs $30,000 to pay off the loan. How much must she deposit monthly? How much must she deposit? What variable am I solving for? I'm solving for P. And it's periodic. Good. I solve for P, so pick one of the ones that's P equals, and I want the periodic one because it says deposit monthly. If it just said deposit with nothing after that, then it would just be a single. Okay, so you got to watch carefully. Again, do not look at compounded. They all will say compounded on them.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
So she needs to deposit $464.06 every month, and she'd have her 30 grand in 5 years. An extra set at the top. If you're a scientific person, you'd need it, but if otherwise you don't. I think on my formula sheet, I think I'd accidentally put the extra parentheses on there. It's not going to hurt it. It won't hurt it. All right, number 12. So number 12, again, picking the formula. Suppose 600 is deposited into an account every quarter. Single or periodic? Periodic. It's deposited every quarter. So it's periodic, and it wants to know the value of the account after 5 years. I want to know the end balance. So go to the B equals periodic. That's the formula I'm using. So 13,537.79.
You know what I did?
Use the wrong formula.
Then get rid of all the cards.
It's going to change your answer.
No, I skipped that.
All right, questions up through the end of that chapter. That is your green formula sheet. Again, if you didn't know how to do it, write it on your note card. Good. All right, moving into chapter 7. I know a lot of people said they forgot how to do these. All right, so let's take a look. Yep. All right, so guys, take a look. Notice I added in that little table where I wrote X minus in parentheses. If you remember, maybe, when we went back to this, that's how I taught it to you guys. Like, we literally put that on our papers. X minus, X minus, X minus with parentheses. Yep, and people still didn't figure it out. All right, so income is always what that X number is. That is always your income. So calculate the tax for a taxable income of this. So if I know my income is 172, your income is, I'm looking between here and here. Thank you. So looking between this range, 172 is going to fall right in here. So if I'm falling in this range, I'm going to use this line of work. And my thing got off a little bit. That's weird. Try it again. You must have hit one wrong number. So guys, if you know the income, when I'm plugging in here, this is just X minus, you can just put your income right in there. And just, I literally typed the whole thing in my calculator all in one shot.
That's what I did. That's what I did. So I took it, but I didn't actually put it like that. But I took
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I got to that, and then I timed that as 100%, and then minus 15.
You should have added it then to the 23, 225. Okay. You did the same thing I did. You just did it in different.
But I got 24.9 on.
I don't know. Because it should have worked. What you just explained to me is, yes, 0.28. You did 2.8% instead of 28%. Remember, percent's just divided by 100 if you're not sure.
Those get me
Oh, yeah, if you'd always divide them by 100, that'll switch them for you. So 14, though, guys, 14 is like the working backwards one. Because 14, this says he has to pay this much in taxes. Thank you. So what is his income? So if this is tax, I need to look. This is tax. So his tax, 38,000. Remember, it's closest without going over. That one's too high, so I need to go to this line. So I'm actually the same line as the last problem. So then I'm setting it up the same way. The 23,225 plus 0.28. And in this case, I don't know the income. So I have to literally use the X minus that. But they said it should equal 38,254. So that's your setup. I'm still looking closest without going over in the tax part. So again, make a note if you're not going to remember that. Set up your algebra, and then that is how that one works. So you just solve for X, and it is 166,325. So again, those of you who just walked in here, your exam tomorrow is just like the review. Number 13 on the exam is going to look like that one. The numbers are going to be different. If you just walked in, come grab your note card from me. So again, for those of you who just walked in, on the note card, you can use front and back. We've established that about 27 different times. I'm going to post the video, yes. Yep. All right, guys, so for the exam tomorrow, again, you can use the note card front and back. You can write anything you like on there. My big suggestion, if I don't understand 14, I'm going to write number 14, and I'm going to write down how to do it or tell myself what to do so I remember tomorrow on 14, this is what I got to do. Also, you have 3 colored papers. You have a pink, a purple, and a green. You may use all 3. Pink, purple, green papers, front and back of note card. There's no reason that you should not understand how to do every single problem on this exam. If you don't get it, ask me now, because tomorrow when you walk in, I'm not answering any questions. All right, got it? See, this is foolproof, right? Should be, if you put some effort in. What? Oh, sorry. I'll change it. No, I'll change it. It was supposed to be out of 5. I'll change it. Thanks for telling me. All right, moving on. 15. So this is the one, if you guys remember, I told you not to do them in order of box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you're not going to figure that out. So you always got to kind of go look at your little chart and see what it gave you. In this case, since they gave me Medicare, again on your note card, I'm not going to tell you this tomorrow. Social Security is 6.2, Medicare is 1.45. Jot it down. If you don't remember that, write it down. I'm not telling you tomorrow. Yep, let's talk through the whole process. Yep, so we need to start, since they gave me Medicare. Medicare is 1.45%. So to work it backwards, we divide. So yep, so if you look, box E, I said do this one first. I just took that and divided by 0.0145. Yep, divide it by your rate to work it backwards. And what do we know about Medicare and Social Security? They're going to be the same. So box 3 is the second thing I did because it's just the same as Medicare. And then to get box 4, I would do that one next. Medicare or Social Security is 6.2%. So I literally just multiplied by my percent, 6.2% to get box 4. Box 3 times 6.2%. Now, to get box 1 and box 2, those are the last 2 that we're going to do. So box 1 would be next. Box 1, yes. Box 1, you're going to have to subtract off any of these extra values you have sitting there. The government will allow you to take money out pre-tax. Social Security and Medicare, they tax on everything. Okay, so I'm going to take what my wages were from either one of these boxes. They should be the same. Subtract off both of these values. This is, could be. Yeah, cafeteria plan. E a lot of times is retirement. Or EE, I've seen a D, they have different letters. But yeah, anything I have here, you will subtract off because the government allows you to take stuff out pre-tax. They're not going to tax you on those values. Okay? And then to find box 2, that's the last thing I'm doing. I put on here, they were 21% of my wages, so I just multiplied by 21%. Honestly, that table, I think these tables should be super easy. They should be.
So number 1, you took
the value from box 3 or box 5, and I subtracted off the other stuff down there.
C stuff?
E in the cafeteria plan. Yep, the ones I've circled.
Subtract 12.
Sure, box 12 and 14. That works. Yeah, for box 1. And then to find box 2, you take box 1 and multiply by whatever percent I give you. It may or may not be 21% tomorrow. I don't remember. I typed up the exam a while ago. I don't remember. All right, questions on that? The box. Okay. Front and back.
17.
All right. Chapter 4. So 16 is $680.96. So remember, finance charge, interest, those are words that are used, synonymously, right? I can use either one. So I have a down payment plus I'm making a monthly payment And it says for 3 years, so I did 12 times 3, or you could have just multiplied by 36, right? Because I'm making 36 payments of this, plus the 200 I paid, subtract off the actual cost of what I was buying. Anything over that cost is all interest or all a finance charge. Chapter 4. I don't know what color is chapter 4. Pink. Right at the very top, it would have said finance charge stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's really no reason you should fail my exam. And yet people do. Sad. You're pretty stoked for the exam now, right? You're like, I can do this. That's awesome. Your mom didn't help you? That's awesome. Good. 12 times 3? 12 payments every month. There's 12 months in a year for 3 years. Yeah, so in other words, I made 36 payments altogether. It was 3 years. All right, 17. 17 is similar to 16, except they did not give you the monthly payment. So I used my formula. I didn't write it all out, but I wrote use formula. You know which formula to use, right? The formula that we've used throughout 2 chapters now. So your monthly payment formula, I get $575.36. And then I did the same process. That one did not have a down payment though, so not a big deal. So my monthly payment times 12 times 4, because it's 12 months in a year for 4 years, to find out how much I paid. Subtract off the actual cost. Anything over that is all interest or a finance charge. So $3,261.28. Same idea. It didn't have a down payment. If it has one, that's obviously money you've paid, so you want to kind of add that on to how much you paid. Good. All right. 18. Number 18, that is your loan length formula. Again, it's on that pink paper. That's the natural log, yes. I'm teaching logarithms in Algebra 2 after break. Yay. You're helping me with intermediate. Stock market.
Yes. We're gonna learn stock.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop teaching. You should know me better than that. No, we're going to... No. Are we okay on 18? So that would round up. It says round to the nearest year, so it would round up to 8.
So what if it's at 7.5 though?
It would round up to 8.
8.
Yep. 7.4?
No, it's 7.
Good. All right. Number 19. Average daily balance. Hopefully this stuff's still pretty fresh in your mind. Guys, so on this one, I just went ahead and added up the days. It was 31 days because they didn't tell you, so I went and added those up. Then you remember, so I did like 5 times 298.45 plus 9 times blah, blah, blah. Right? Do you guys remember doing that? So altogether, that's 17,498.43. So to calculate that then, to average, you divide that by the days. So 564.47. What? My guess is 1 digit somewhere. Got typed in wrong. Finance charge? Average daily balance? What are we? For part B, the finance charge, make sure you divide. They gave you the APR. What's APR stand for? Annual percentage rate. But this, I'm talking about a monthly. So you need to take your annual rate and divide it by 12. So monthly is 1.9%. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes. This is what you're referencing. Yeah. If you have this, I'll let you use it. There you go. If you go back to your notes, this is in your notes. See, Mary just ripped hers right off her notes. I'll allow that. So, yep, that's it. If you have that, you can use it. That's where I gave you the order and how to do payments, credits, new purchases, all that stuff from that credit card statement. That's what that was. All right, guys, if you're going to dig for stuff, do that later. Let's get through this first. So you might have some digging to do later. All right, number 20, 2,795.84. So again, you're just starting with your credit line, previous balance. So I'm subtracting that, and then she made a payment. Payments, we go ahead. Do I have a subtraction? That's what I didn't minus 5,000.
I got that wrong.
For 20?
Did you get 5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, I see 5,000 on your credit card. That makes sense.
What's our line of credit?
I've got 2 days.
Right.
I don't worry about it.
Are you okay? Right? So, because the question asks what's her available credit. If you look here, available credit, you take your credit line amount minus my new balance. So the new balance is you taking the 2,549, that number minus the 345 like you did. You found the new balance. That's how much she owes now. But the question asks for her available credit is the credit line amount minus that.
You never want to get my credit. That's part of it.
Yeah, because I gave you a credit line of $5,000. So in other words, how much more could she spend? That's what it's asking you. Available credit is how much more could you spend? Does not mean you should, but that is what she could spend. Oh, I did. Just be ready for the exam tomorrow, hon. I'll post this video this afternoon, so then you can. Chapter 8 is where you left off. Oh yeah, 37 minutes on there. All right. Well, she just needs to know her so she can fast forward in the video. 37.
I would just watch it over again.
You could, yeah, absolutely. All right, so number 21, we moved into chapter 8. Chapter 8 is the chapter we just did, so it's the stuff that should be the most familiar to you. So 21 is $2,030.17. You're like, hey, I remember all this. Yeah, so that one's just taking your monthly payment, which they actually gave you. Your monthly taxes, so I had to divide that by 6. Your monthly insurance, I divided that one by 12 and added them together. Semi-annual is divided by 6. Annual, yes. All right, and then 22, talking about prepaid interest. Again, what formula sheet are we looking at? What color?
It's purple.
Purple. Purple has it on there for prepaid interest. Remember, make a note, some of you are still doing this wrong. You have to round this number to the nearest cent. If you leave all the digits in the calculator at this point, it's wrong. So if you did this and your answer is a couple cents different from mine, that's what you did. You have to round to the nearest cent before you multiply by the number of days. Okay? Again, it's on your purple sheet. People still aren't looking at it. Read it, circle it, highlight it, star it, do it. No, you can just do one because I get the same answer. So 23, 165,000. You could have went either or. Obviously, you don't have to do both because I get the same answer. Take the lower one, divide by 2%, or the higher one, divide by 7%.
I'm confident on this one. I got 100% on the last test. I only missed like a couple. I did really good on the last test.
You did do very good on the last
I was
test.
so surprised.
I was impressed.
I was impressed with my score very well.
And then the last question, I just had you do 2 lines of amortization table. Again, check that last ending balance. If you have that right, then you're fine. If your ending balance that I circled is wrong, then you got to kind of backtrack your way through and see where you messed up. And again, that is on your purple formula sheet, right? You have all that on there. Yes. Yeah.